ask you. I know what I gave you. Please tell me what you gave me. Now let me ask you.
Hello people, it's your boy Ambassador again doing his thing. As usual, we are here. I think you guys have seen a couple of our episodes already, which we come around to chop some of the social issues. We call it the New African Man. I think I've explained the concept before, if you've watched our content before, but the whole idea is we're just discussing issues as Africans. And man is not man as male, but it's just human beings in general. So I think the two gentlemen I have on my side, we have met them before, but just for benefit of doubt, we are going to introduce them again. So today we are going to be talking about migration. In Cameroon they call it bushfaller, in Nigeria they call it japa, in French Africa they call it benguiste. So all of these local slangs we use to present the situation, but generally we're just talking about migration. So I want people to give their views with regards to migration, back and forth. As usual, we'll talk with the guys, talk with the girls, and then mix it up and discuss. So today we have Huston and
Chari.
Okay, Chari. Usually opening line I usually just ask, are you for immigration, Huston? Or migration?
Can I be on the fence today?
Which fence, Mexican or Italian?
Not literally.
Okay.
Well, to some extent, I accept the fact of people falling bush.
Yeah.
Just going out of the country.
Migrating. Yeah.
And then to some extent, I don't really support it. So I just want to be
on both sides, sitting on the fence. Donald Trump does not like people sit on the fence. Anyway, we are going to delve into why you don't like or why you like. What about you?
I stand for migration. I really believe it's very important in anybody's life to at least leave their confinements of their countries to go to other countries to learn culture, traditions, different things. It opens your mind to other things.
Okay. Yeah, I knew that this is one of those discussions where I'm not going to be on the same page with you guys. The other discussions for polygamy and the rest is on the same page, but this one I'm not there. I prefer people don't migrate. I have my reasons, but also I feel like that. I'll just disclaim at once. I left Cameroon for at least 5 years plus, and every now and then I still travel out. So I don't know if it's a just position to say that people should not migrate, but I'm going to give my reasons why, and then the viewers comment section, if you like, insult the people or argue why for or not for. So let's go now into the detail. I want to start with the story, right? Why I think I'm not for migration. I was a young man growing up in Cameroon. We had all this media influence. For those who are my age group, we remember the things that they used to show, like the Fresh Scott, Newport Beach, and all of those things. Even the hip-hop culture, which I was involved in at the time, it sold out the dream that everything happens out there. So when I had my advanced level, that's baccalaureate or CAP, or whatever you want to call it, I told my parents, it's traveling out or nothing. I'll not even go into the details of the problems we had and the things I did because I wanted to travel out. But yeah, that was the stand I took. Because in my mind, imagine growing up, you are doing rapping, you are doing hip hop, you're the cool kid in school. In your mind, you know that, okay, I wanted to go to those schools where the basketball club has a jacket that have written Ravens or something. I knew that in Cameroon, when I went to SWA and these things, the culture is very whack. People just go to it and say, yeah, that's crazy. So, in my mind, I felt like that's not the university experience I wanted. I wanted an experience where we have concerts, I can show my rap things, my basketball things, all that cool crap. Prom, all of these kind of cool dreams.
Boy.
Plus, I also felt like in Cameroon, my parents generally are not in support of entertainment and all these other entrepreneurial things. Go to school, have a certificate, get a job. So I knew that unless I move out and get that independence, can I express myself to really become what I wanted. When I went out there, that's when I put holes in my ear, was doing my kind of things I was doing. Yeah. So, but just to long story short, when I went there, I also realized that the dream that was sold to us was a story of what has happened. It was not a story of what will happen. I was going there thinking that is what will happen. I wanted to be part of what will happen. But I realized that all what they were showing us were things that had already been built. The Bad Boy Company had already been built, the Mother Inc. INC, all of those levels had already been done. So there's no way you want to come and create something which they already have. But on the contrary, Africa was a place that did not have some of those things that there's room for growth. Even till now, some of the tech ideas, you just pick up some ideas out there, contextualize it, and then you can work in Africa. So when I went out there, I started doing some of those things, and I realized, like, you want to rap, you cannot rap more than the American. You want to play basketball. These guys have been playing basketball since they were 2 years old. You left from playing tabala or your sister, Cizo, then you went to football, then now you are playing basketball. You cannot be as good as somebody who was playing basketball from 2 years old. So I realized I already were in that deficit because we're trying to be them. Meanwhile, you cannot be better than them at being them, if that makes sense. So when I had my degrees and things, I came back home. And all the people I've met after that, I usually tell them, like, there's nothing out there. Opportunities come up, I tell them that the only thing that can take me to Europe or America is if there's a heavy check for me to go and pick up. If it's just to go, I'm not interested. I just go where the checks are and drop. So that's my stance with regards to migration. I feel like we go out there because of the dreams, but when we get there, we realize that those dreams have already been done and there's not much we can do. What's your take on that?
Like I said, I'll be on the fence.
Yeah.
I'll be on the fence tonight. Basically because we've seen people out there who make it big, who leave the country, and then they make it big. They come back. And then
how many percent come back?
Nobody, barely, very few come back. Even when they come, it's just vacations and then they go back. So there's the idea that the whites have sold to us that their life is better than what we have here. So I want to be on the fence tonight because let me give one of my first points. First off, we see people working so hard here.
Yeah.
I mean, they're putting in their all, giving it everything they have. I mean, somebody pouring out.
So you permit me, right? I'll be poking holes into your points because I'm at the vantage position that I've been both ways.
Yeah.
So I'll be poking holes, right?
Yeah.
So you say when people go out there, they work hard and they make more money.
No, I mean here they're working really hard.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, they see very little of what.
Let me give you a true life story, right? I realized that when I was out there, I used to do like 5 jobs. I used to work at car wash, farms, going to the should I call it corporate based on what I was studying, and then that's how I was making money. But when I came back to Cameroon, there's no money you can pay me for me to go and do car wash. I used to dance as a mascot in a basketball team where you wear that line on head and you're doing those things. I cannot do those things here because I'm feeling myself. I'm in Cameroon, I'm the big boy. Why should even before I left Cameroon when I was in high school, I felt like I'm the guy. Why should I be doing those things, right? But when I went to Europe, I did it. That's how I had the money. So the point I'm going at is, if people give as much sacrifice like they give out there, and the Jimanfuism of I don't care, I want to make my money, they will still make more money
here. So that's one of the points where I don't want to. So that's where I was going to bring those 2 points.
Yeah.
So sometimes people are working that hard here,
and
then they see very little, but they go out there and then they put this hard work.
Are they really working hard here though?
Well, some people.
Because I remember like Frankie from the UK and was sitting somewhere in some bar and he was like, how come productive hours of the day 10 to 12 people are sitting in bars? And when he goes back home, maybe at 5 or 6, he says, after a long day's work, I'm tired. So was he working?
I think I'll get there. Yeah. There's a difference between working hard and working smart. Yes, that's the difference. Because you can be working hard and the probability that you're working smart is really low. Because you base it on your output.
Okay, for example, let's keep smart aside. Let's see people. How much do they pay mortuary attendants here? Check how many people in the United States or out of the country.
So I ask you a question. Do you think if people do 5 jobs here, they will not make much money?
They will.
Okay. Now contextualize it to in the sense that they might pay somebody 30,000 francs here. You have 2. In Cameroon, I can go for a week without cooking, without buying food and I eat. In Europe, there's no way. The first time I got to Europe, I saw somebody pulling out his food, we were sitting in a group of friends and the guy was eating alone. That was just to tell you that you're in danger zone. Now, secondly, how much do you pay rent? So when you factor in all of those things, you realize that it's not that bad. Like somebody, I was in a plane going to Kenya and I met some young people who were going to Dubai and I was like, what are you going to do in Dubai? And they like, have a job contract, I pay us 400,000. I say, how much is your rent? You are renting a bed, almost 200,000 francs. And you are so happy that I paid you 400,000 francs. How does that make sense?
But I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Is it possible
for
people to have 5 jobs in Cameroon? They don't pay us.
But
it's rare because they don't really pay us.
It's not about the pay, it's about the more you pay, the more you have.
But I'm like, okay, for example, how many employers will want somebody who works 2 hours? Okay, just come and watch. Just come. Okay,
no, there are people though.
No, I'm not. How many?
Talk about the proportion.
How many? Because it's very common. This student tells you. Okay, I'm closing school by 2 p.m.
Yeah.
From that 2 p.m., I have a place, a restaurant, I go there and I wash plates.
Yeah.
And then I wash plates for 1 hour from.
No, but let's be honest, most students don't do it.
No, I'm just saying, it's possible
No,
to have
we are saying that if they want to do it, right? But if we are being honest, a student
They
wants a
will not do
pocket
it.
allowance of what? I don't know, 30, 50,000.
They feel like
they honestly like, why should I be doing that job?
But mind you that you're talking about Pokemon or 30 can. I think that's like 10% of the student population.
No, I'm not sure.
Or in fact 5% even.
Are you sure?
I'm not telling you like look, you will
It's
be
not
very
that bad. I don't
you will be very surprised at how broke our country is. I want to tell you like
Yeah,
and when we talk about when you talk about you start analyzing things from minimum wage rate.
Yeah.
You start seeing that people are even earning lower than minimum wage rate. They are taking care of the whole family.
Yeah.
There are some children that actually they even give them 10,000 pounds to survive a month.
Yeah.
Now, even when we invest,
Some people don't even see that.
That's the thing. Some months
No, but when I was in Europe, I did not see allowance from my parents.
No,
On the
because
contrary,
that is,
I had
they
we get to
put
feel
you
that
in a system, or they put you in a how do I say a gold mine. Look for gold.
No, that's the thing. You say
Take
gold
gold.
mine. There's no gold mine.
No, because the issue is
Yeah.
the issue is when we are analyzing bushfaller and all of that.
Yeah.
I just want us to understand and let us come to a logical conclusion first that there is a whole system there that is more upgraded than this.
No. So that's why I said it is true. One, my pushback is contextualizing.
Yes.
It's not that wow. Two, if you do those jobs, I know young people going through school, they were doing photography, working some side hustle, putting themselves through school. And myself, when I was out there, I was doing all these secondary things, and how do you call it, working in
okay, let me direct a question.
I used to buy things from China because it was easy to post, and then send it to my parents to sell.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If this is like a personal question for you,
Yes.
here, what's the profession of your parents?
My parents were agri engineers.
Okay, then when you have gone out, how many countries have you gone to so far?
I was in 2 countries, but traveling I've gone to a couple of countries.
Now the issue is why I might also not really analyze your own opinions.
Yeah.
Is because according to Cameroon standard, you might have been from a family that is well-to-do.
No, my family is what I call an upper middle class. So there is a lower middle class, upper middle class. There's a poor, then there's a rich. Right? The tendency is when you are, and that's why I tell people. Like I was telling my brother one time, I was like, the sacrifice our parents have made is so that we should cross a certain line. The least wrong decision you make, you can fall back into the lower middle class and into the poor. The middle class is a very sensitive position because if you make some smart investment, you can move into the rich. And then the wealthy.
Yes.
If you make wrong decision, the particular case I was talking about was he had a classmate who, because they went to some of those boarding schools which are kind of good, and the guy was not a teacher. Then he had impregnated a girl. Then they were trying to put some money together or something. And I was asking him like, but how can somebody who went to this kind of school be living like this? And then he was telling me like it's just a matter of 1 or 2 wrong choices that we could have made. We'll be in the same position.
Yes.
So I think I'm from a middle class family. But disclaimer, I also say
right choices.
yes,
Making right choices.
right choice is very important. Also, I said maybe my opinion is a bit not fair because I've gone abroad. So to tell people not to go abroad is not good.
That's
but
what
I
I'm saying.
remember the guy who did my first documents when I left for Cyprus. He told me like Cyprus is rough, but if you don't come, I think that ground floor side this is Cyprus. I said, "Grandfather, so this Cyprus a bit to come. Give that shooting bullets, I will dodge and enter." That was my mindset.
Mentality we had.
No matter what,
So far to leave the country is better.
it's better. I told my parents that I'm not doing nothing here again. I want to go out. But now there are at least 5 to 10 of my cousins / close friends who, after I came back, I've told them like that bush is not really the thing. They have said no, you're talking about when you have gone and you're coming. They have gone, and when they come back, they tell me like, man, you were right.
But let me ask you, okay, this is where I'll come in also. Now you have generally come back and it is you have seen for yourself that bush now.
Yeah.
But the issue is here also, let's say you not live as a sub-Cameroonian or something of a lower class. Normally I've no
What do you mean by
as a fact,
sub-Cameroonian?
let me finish, let me like get to
Okay.
like because normally our general system,
Yeah.
we have the poor,
Yes.
we have the middle class, you have analyzed and everything.
Yeah.
Now you would see that the highest percentile of our population is the poor.
Poor, yeah,
Yes,
sure, poor.
you get. So now you came back.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Ambassador, you came back.
Yeah.
Now the issue is you now telling, if you now as ambassador
Yeah.
telling someone that nothing is out there, you cannot blame the people for not
No,
getting-
I don't.
because normally your standard of living
It's way better.
exactly might actually be.
You mean now or before?
Now,
That's what I'm saying.
your standard of living normally cannot be the way you were when you left here.
And
So there must have
this mentality
stronger influence that
you're living this way because you went out.
yes.
And so it start making you feel like, okay, you don't see something.
You don't see
Exactly.
exactly.
Now, that's
That's like the point that we're
But this
trying
is the
to
question I'm trying to give you guys, right? If you go to somewhere, fire burns you, are you going to let your younger brother go let fire burn him, or you try to convince that man there's fire that's going to burn him?
But that's the thing, they find an issue for plenty bushfaller them.
That's another topic I wanted us to
Yes,
discuss.
that's the thing.
Right.
The thing is, we know that they have their paint out
No,
there.
but this is
We know that they are seeing shake.
This is me, a veteran bushfaller, telling you that there's nothing there, there's shake. You're having to do that in the
This is the thing. We have people who have gone out there and they've made it.
Yes.
Made it big time.
Yeah.
Right. And let's be honest. In every African home, once a child is going out, it's an automatic celebration because they believe that the child is going to a better life.
Yeah. Eye opener. When we're out, they usually tell people, if you're not playing football or doing music, you're doing something shady.
Yeah.
Nobody goes out there. I have friends who, I remember like the friend I was telling you guys off camera that he works for DHL, he's the manager for DHL. But he was out there like 5 years, came and bought a plot. Went and stayed like 3 years, they started building a house. Those guys that used to go and make 1 year and they come back with 100 million. Ask questions.
No,
There's no way you pick up 100 million like that. That is pop in Europe.
And then now also the
because
issue comes from when you talk about if you go to fire and we don't see that fire, and then now we come to the situation
What we see
now
outside.
juxtaposing our situation with those outside. Let me analyze.
Yeah.
You go and, for example, I've worked in construction here.
Yeah.
Yes. The chassis and all of that. You understand? You have walk, cement and it's mad here because you are even working here. You are not specific. You are carrying sand, block, mixing, cementing, carrying concrete and all that.
Believe me, I did shanty in Europe and it was almost the same.
You get what I'm saying?
They paid me more,
that's
but
what I'm saying.
there's another factor which I could not stomach, the racism. So I would rather you pay me less and I'm treated like a human being.
Okay, now
than
that's.
an animal
I
being.
think the racism now comes now. It's another topic on
its own.
Now
But
what I'm
just
driving
focusing
at,
on the fact that
what I'm
the pay
driving
gets
at is
better.
the pay. If the pay gets better, right?
Yeah.
If the pay gets better, and then one, you go home, you know that your light is not going. They are not going to cut your light anytime soon, or you don't have.
Believe me, I just like to tell people reality. I left a home where I never recovered the cut lights. The first time the cut lights in my house was in Europe because I could not pay the bills. It was not the case where that was the first time I lived almost a week without light. So don't dream that there's no light.
No.
It was a case where the landlady had taken a loan, put our house as shorty. When we don't pay rents or we don't pay bills, the bank just sends the police and I went to our house. So for 1 week, I was passing through the window, I bathed, I got in some other friend's house. There was no light.
No, okay, now we are. You now.
And I sat down, I was like, man,
You are putting-
I need this. Me who was a wonder man.
You see what you see what
So don't dream that they don't cut
no
light.
no normally you have limited you have said because you couldn't pay.
Yes.
In Cameroon you can actually pay rent and they still cut your light for like 3 weeks.
Blackout is blackout.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
Then that's what I'm saying, that there is a whole system, right?
Yeah.
That is why you see even people that are going out. I've had even friends that will talk and they tell me, man, look, outside is hard, you get. But bruh,
come here.
there is peace.
Yes.
But I'm just telling you guys and contextualize it. When you guys go out there, because people take their life seriously out there, all that thing for I'm going to sit to my friends in the bar is not there. Everybody is very focused.
I think one of the things about going abroad
focused like that here, you make it.
Yes, I think one of the things.
But it's just difficult
one of the
because you have
things-
your child,
I understand
friends, and all
this
of those
thing.
things.
One of the things about going abroad is how the mentality changes because you have a point to prove.
Yeah.
Automatically. There's no way your parents to spend that
They need to tell us that I'm waiting for you in the California.
Your parents to tell you that their parents to send them millions for you to go abroad, and then when they are done,
That's done.
then you guys it does not make sense.
No, but there are people who go there and don't.
Yeah, no, I mean,
No, what's in
I'm just
that
a majority.
generally?
Like
Normal person that asks,
you get
like-
the idea. You get the whole idea of small picking we go America yesterday. And the picking they come here, they spend money with society. The picking on the whole like the latest phones, and they see the next thing.
So break it down. How much did he? How long has he been there? 1, 2. What job is he doing?
Yeah.
They have great facilities where you can take cars and phones like that.
we
don't have
understand
it.
those
So you
things.
see with that phone and you feel that his life is so much better, but that's dead. Same like you can save your money bit by bit and buy that phone. He just has to pay for that phone installment.
And same as you can see that when you buy that phone, before you want to buy that phone, your malaria kills you.
Yeah.
That's
Like I
also-
said,
that's also getting
mentioned malaria.
I mean,
and typhoid,
also-
and typhoid.
A madman can shoot you somewhere in America, but nobody will shoot you like that here.
We already have guns here now.
No, it's not America. Those
It's not
I know, understand, but the issue is that generally, I would obviously, because my own point generally is the fact of immigration. There is a cultural and a mindset view about it.
Okay.
There's a culture and a mindset view about it that you get into other places and see their workings. You see what they do, and you learn about different. And I will not tell you like knowledge is vast. No, and before you not even die, you will not have learned even 2% of what is
also right. There are two other directions we'll go in when we are with the girls talking. There's also the direction of, I remember like when I was leaving Cameroon, I don't know, maybe because I'm not so much in the youthful culture now. Before I left Cameroon, it was like me too, I must go that bush in the sense that every December we used to say that those were nice girlfriends, right? They used to say that your borrow your girlfriend was on bush for that 2 months. When those bushfallers come, I remember myself very well. I used to dress. I remember the first time when Ganku came with I think it was a Chrysler or a Chevrolet convertible. And then there was that time on Cameroon FC was a very big team. They used to play football at the stadium here. I remember very well people would dress, go and in on Ganku's car and taking picture. Imagine that grandfather you have dressed to come and snap his car. He tries to get your girlfriend.
I mean,
there's no fight. There's no really fight. You lost the fight.
One of the last things I'll say is, like I was saying, when it comes to this immigration thing, parents spending millions for their children to go out and then maybe they work and send back money. I'm like, so as a parent, like I said, I was on the fence. As a parent, if you can take this million, that's one of the problems I have with a lot of African parents.
No, they will not give.
If I tell them that right now,
give me that money. No, they will not. They will not.
Give me this money, let's invest. They will not.
They will not.
But if I tell them I'm going abroad, I don't know, the mentality that plays in our heads about abroad is the fact that once you go there, you make them.
No, but our parents are not parents. They were not born parents. They were once youths like you, then they became parents. So with that same mindset, that's how they felt.
So they could not let my child do it. Because I tell my mom, I say, oh, maybe I don't want American launching. Mama, like, what next? What else do you need? I will take loan from anywhere you need me to.
Because like
I'm gonna tell one of my parents have told me this.
Mexico road is between 5 to 7 million.
Yes, and that
is enough money to start up.
Libya Italian road is between 4 and 5. And you are risking your life.
It's so risky. When you could make it, the truth is, I feel like Africa is underexploited. You get it? Which means there's a lot of opportunities to be exploited still.
Exactly, yes.
Because all those things that we've seen out there,
they are not here yet.
Create them here. And guess what? We all know it's not news that a lot of things are out there. They take them from here. We are resources here.
So there are the two angles I want us to look at later on, which is the influence which those who go out come back and tell us. Then there's also the influence of those who are out there when they come back. How do they impact the society? There are two angles. So I want us to dive into that into more detail when the girls are here, because there's a factor of what girls do in Europe and what boys do in Europe is different. The interactions or the experience girls have with bushfallers and the experience which boys have with bushfallers is different. So once we are sitting on the platform with girls, we get their own opinion on certain things, we're able to balance out. But also there's a part which I want to be talking directly to those in the diaspora, because most of them are on YouTube watching these things, to tell them like these are things you guys are doing wrong, which is misleading the youths. I've been out there and I'll tell you like it was rosy like this. I told you like I used to make 1 million like this was easier, but I will also tell you like my school fee was almost 3, my house rent was almost 500. So when you do the math, I'm still at a deficit. So but you're telling somebody that I made 3 million, like whoa, you don't contextualize it, it's not real. You are misleading the person. You might work in your chantier for 2 years, you save the money, you come back, you buy the box, you farote the girls for 2 weeks, you go back. Even if I save for 3 years, I can farote like
I should also talk about that part. That part doesn't come to our girls.
No, girls, that when the girls are there. I want to tell them why they're doing those things to you. Anyway. So we'll wrap it up with the guys now, have the discussion with the girls, then we're going to come back to discuss as a group. As usual, I tell you guys, like, subscribe. I also want people to interact a lot more in the comment section. Tell us what you think. If you don't agree with somebody, tell us, because some of these discussions, I've had these conversations in various settings, and that's what is sharpening my thought in a particular direction. So the more we have these conversations, the more we are going to know why do I want to fall bush, why do I not want to fall bush. Once you have a very clear thought, at times I say there's no idea which is wrong. It just depends on the arguments which you have towards the idea. So it will help us to sharpen our ideas. So once again, it's your boy Ambassador on Chakara TV. We are doing the New African Man. See you guys shortly.